guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm so happy to be here with you on this very beautiful day. I am excited to be here, excited to be talking about what I love, which is perfumes. And I hope you love perfumes too, because that's what we talk about on this channel. My name is Anne. This channel is Scentolutions and we're all about perfumes on here. So welcome on board. Today, guys, I just wanted to have like a very relaxed chit chat with you. Nothing too serious, nothing brain tasking. I just have some perfumes that I think vibe very similar to expensive perfumes. So I'm comparing expensive perfumes to their cheaper alternatives. Or rather, let me word it differently. I'm giving you cheaper alternatives to some expensive, mostly designer perfumes. So these are cheapies or relatively cheaper perfumes that you can pick up if you have a hankering for certain expensive designer perfumes. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I think I've got about 11. I think there are about 11 perfumes I'm going to talk about today. We are not going to go into too much detail about notes, but I'll just be telling you where I think the similarities in these perfumes are. And we will be starting with Givenchy Irresistible. This is a beautiful pear-based fragrance that I love so much. And there's something else that goes with it, and that is Elle L'Edition. Now, I didn't know Elle, the fashion house or the fashion magazine, had a perfume. I just discovered this recently. It is absolutely stunning. This perfume, Givenchy Irresistible, you will not believe how similar they smell. This one though, that's the L'Edition, has more citrus, so it's a bit sharper in the opening, but the dry down of both fragrances is so similar. And you want a cheaper alternative, this might be your jam. Next up would be another Elle perfume. This one from Elle, it's called Elle Fleur. I'll put the picture up because I don't have it, but I've smelled it before. This one smells so similar to YSL's Mon Paris. It is extremely similar. It has pear and some florals, a lot of white florals in the middle, so orange blossom and all that. It has a lot of berries. Well, not a lot of berries. It's got raspberry, sorry. It's got apple and all that. It is so similar to Mon Paris. The first time I smelled it, everything I experienced with Mon Paris, I experienced with this perfume. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you realize that I have issues sometimes with Mon Paris, especially in the opening. It gets a bit screechy for me. It feels like there's a lot of alcohol, and that's exactly what I experienced with that perfume as well. It is such, they have such a similar profile, similar scent. It's amazing. Next up, I have one that I think honestly a lot of people are sleeping on, guys. Elizabeth Arden's Fifth Avenue Royale. Sorry, I had to move the camera back just so you could see the full profile of this perfume. Guys, Fifth Avenue Royale by Elizabeth Arden. Don't sleep on this perfume, please. Don't sleep on it. It vibes very similar to a number of perfumes that I have. This is Miss Dior Le Parfum. This is Athalia by Parfums de Mali. Now, all these fragrances don't necessarily smell the same, but they have that woody or ambery component to them that makes them very rich, very sensual, very full-bodied, almost unisex leaning for some of them. Now, Fifth Avenue Royale is the business. This perfume has all kinds of notes. I think it has suede. I saw leather in it. I think there's some incense. There's a liquor note in the opening. It is stunning, very stunning, especially if you like, slightly aromatic but full-bodied, rich, almost unisex leaning fragrances, because my husband wore this and he loved it, fell in love with it. If you have those kinds of fragrances that lean a little masculine, that have all the leather and suede and incense and all those interesting notes with some florals in it, try this perfume. You won't regret it. I love it, and it's so cheap compared to the designer counterpart. So if you love some Tom Ford type of perfumes, I think that if you're looking for a cheaper alternative, this will be your jam. Try it. Thank me later. All right. I'm having fun with this, guys. Okay, next up, I have another combo that I didn't see coming. This perfume, I don't talk too much about it. This is Narciso Rodriguez for her. This perfume is honestly not one of my favorites. It's a chore for me. I won't lie to you. Like, I have struggled with this perfume, but I still have it in my collection for reference purposes most times. Because, I mean, if you talk about perfumes, there would be times where you need to reference certain perfumes. So there are times where even if I don't like the perfume that much, I might have it because I also know certain people who love it. It might also be relevant when I'm talking about a certain profile of perfumes. This perfume is one of those. Now, this I discovered vibes very similar to Lovely by Sarah Jessica Parker. These are two perfumes that have a lot of musk in them, and they dry down very similar. I think for her has a peach note, if I remember correctly. It does have a peach note in it. I don't even know, maybe that's even the note that does my head in, because well, yeah, it has a peach note in the opening. There's patchouli and all that in there, but guys, this perfume gives me a lot of trouble. Lovely by Sarah Jessica Parker, another musk heavy fragrance. Beautiful in its own right, but they dry down very similar. So if you're looking for a cheaper alternative, please try this. Okay. Next up, I have one perfume that makes me so happy. Whenever I wear this perfume, I feel like an angel. It's so unproblematic. Gucci Bloom. I've never seen a perfume this unproblematic. From the bottle to how it looks, everything is just so unproblematic, and I love it. Gucci Bloom is your quintessential tuberose perfume. It's very light, it's very easy, it's very super wearable, guys. You can wear this anytime, any day, anywhere. You won't have issues, you won't get a headache. It's just so simple and straightforward. Now, what vibe similar to this that's slightly cheaper, or much cheaper actually? Kim Kardashian Eau de Parfum. I just got this in my collection and I'm loving every minute of using this. This is also a tuberose forward perfume, and I mean, if you're looking for a cheaper alternative to the likes of Gucci Bloom, to the likes of maybe My Way, even though My Way has a slightly different profile from Gucci Bloom in the sense that it's a bit more sparkly, especially the one I have, which is the My Way Intense. But Kim Kardashian, great alternative tuberose perfume if you're looking for something along the lines of Gucci Bloom. All right, next up we have, ooh, I like this one. Now this is C by Giorgio Armani. This one is berries. It has some florals in it. I think there's vanilla as well, some patchouli. So Giorgio Armani C, lovely perfume. I mean, the whole C line is very unproblematic in my opinion. Like, they're super wearable, very easy to wear, very easy reach type of fragrances. Now I have two alternatives that are much, much, much cheaper and will give you a very, very similar experience. First off, I have Always Red by Elizabeth Arden. Notice that I'm showing you a lot of Elizabeth Arden fragrances today because I've been buying them. I feel like people sleep on Elizabeth Arden fragrances. I know they're not the most long lasting, but they do have some hidden gems right there. And that Fifth Avenue Royale is a hidden gem from Elizabeth Arden. Now this one has some plum, it has blood orange. It doesn't necessarily follow the same profile with C, but the dry down of this perfume, if you can give it 30 minutes, you will not be able to tell it apart from Giorgio Armani C, the original. This is actually, I think this is C Intense, the original. Now, another fragrance that also goes in that direction is this one from Jean Arthurs. This is called Romantic. I got this sample bottle from the perfume store, and oh my goodness, it is a dupe, in my opinion, of Giorgio Armani C. So these two perfumes are very inexpensive and will give you the same effect as C from Giorgio Armani. Next up, we have one that is quite expensive, and this is Baccarat Rouge 540. So this one is new to my collection somewhat. I got in September as a birthday gift from my husband, and I found a very lovely dupe for this perfume. Now, I don't know if it's a dupe or, there's so many perfumes these days that smell like Baccarat Rouge, so I don't even bother myself to find out whether they're actual dupes or they just happen to smell alike. They have a similar scent profile. What can we do? Pure Addiction by Frank Olivier. I've compared these two on my channel. If you don't have Baccarat Rouge and you come across this one, it's a great alternative. Both of them great lasting power. This has saffron and jasmine as well. So of course, there's that similarity, but it's got a citrus note. I can't remember if it's mandarin orange. There's something in the opening that is very citrusy and makes it a lot sweeter than MFK's Baccarat Rouge. So yeah, that's probably the main difference between the two, but they both have very similar scents. You might not be able to tell the difference if you're not a trained nose. Yeah, so I mean, I know we've seen a gazillion BR 540 dupes, but there's no harm in adding another, right? Okay, so next up, this one, I don't have the designer perfume, but I have smelled it and I know that they smell very much alike. And that is Marc Jacobs Decadence, the one in the bottle that I will be showing in the picture right up there. This is by Invitation Signature. This is a Michael Buble fragrance. I've shown this a number of times on my channel. This one is very similar. It has that fresh green, very sweet, lovely vibe that Marc Jacobs Decadence has. A very, very great and cheap alternative to that perfume. Also, from the house of Michael Buble comes another one that is very similar to our ever faithful Black Opium, which is the pear and coffee masterpiece that a lot of us have, even though it gets a bad rap these days, and I don't know why. I love Black Opium and I'm not ashamed of it. Yeah, so Black Opium is very similar to By Invitation, and the funny thing is they don't have the same note structure. By Invitation is more of a, is lactonic, vanillic, is sweet and floral. It doesn't have coffee, so you wouldn't expect it to be the same, but somehow they just managed to create something very, very similar to Black Opium without necessarily having the same note profile. So this is a very cheap alternative. Some of these perfumes might not be available where you live. My context might be slightly different. These are the perfumes available where I live. So, Yeah, so next up, we're almost done, almost done. We have, this one is an accidental find for me because I just stumbled upon the fact that they smell very similar. So this is Oh So Sweet Marc Jacobs Daisy Love, the signature, very, very, like, what would you call this? It's not opulent. It's just very out there, the way the bottles are designed. But I guess that's the attraction for Marc Jacobs perfumes, right? Yeah, so this one vibes very, very similar to NYC Red by Elizabeth Ard. Yes, they smell so much alike. Daisy Love is more floral, it's sweet, it's got some musk, it has sugar, almost leaning gourmand. NYC Red has your berries. I think it also has some musk in it. It has some apple, a mixture of notes, but they smell so similar, guys. They smell very similar, these two perfumes. So if you're looking for something in the direction of Daisy Love, Oh So Sweet, you could try Fifth Avenue NYC Red. I'll put the caveat and say that for these cheaper perfumes, some of them, not all, some of them have longevity challenges, but like they always say, you get what you pay for. Even though there's some that are quite long lasting, like the Frank Olivier, the Kim Kardashian is also good for lasting, at least on me. Fifth Avenue Royale doesn't last too long, but it has moderate longevity and you can respray. So some of them have good longevity, but some don't. So you might want to watch out for that. But price wise, still makes a lot of sense. Okay, next up, we have one. I don't have the designer perfume it's compared to, but I'll show it on the screen. I have smelled both and I think they vibe similar. So this is Banana Republic's Pure White. This one is very fresh. It's got citrus, it's got vetiver. It's a very fresh perfume, very clean profile, that sort of thing. This one vibes very similar to Byredo Balder Freak. A lot of people have said it, I've smelled it, I've seen it. It's not that they are dupes of it, this is not a dupe of Byredo, but just the look, the feel, the scent, it's very, very similar. So if you want a cheaper alternative to the Byredos of this world, here you go. From Banana Republic. Now, we're almost done. We're actually on the last one now. That's great. So last one on the list for today is from the House of Oud, and it's called What About Pop? This one is a caramel fragrance, got some vanilla. I think it has some vetiver. It has all kinds of notes, but the prominent note here is the popcorn, that caramel popcorn gourmand smell. So this is a very realistic gourmand fragrance. You're going to smell like you're in a movie theater. So whenever I want to recreate movie theater vibes, I put this on. Now, this perfume, interestingly, smells like, wait for it, it smells like two Bath and Body Works mists that I just got. Now, this is the pear creme brulee that has baked pear, caramelized sugar, some whipped cream. Let's keep it aside. Unfortunately, the head is not showing. Please bear with me. Same as coconut cream pie. This is also a fragrance mist from Bath and Body Works. This one has coconut flakes, caramel, custard, golden pie crust. So they all have that caramel component to them. These things smell alike. So if you don't have money for the House of Oud, what about pop? Please consider these mists. You'll get your fix of caramel popcorn or whatever caramelly caramel note you're looking for. So guys, there you have it. That is all for today. I just wanted to show you some alternatives. If you're on a budget, you don't want to spend too much money, you want to get a certain scent profile, you want to feel a certain way, you want to get a certain vibe that the designer fragrances give, but at a cheaper rate that won't break bank, consider these fragrances that I've shown you today. So I would really love to know if you have any of these fragrances, what you feel about them, if you agree with the comparisons. Please let me know in the comments. I do so love to hear from you and chat with you in the comments. If you watched till this point, thank you so much. Until I see you again on another video, enjoy the rest of your day or night. And please, if you like this content, don't forget to subscribe. Click the notification bell as well so you know when I post a new video. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.